welcome to my channel and welcome back to Shelf or Shove. I think this is episode 7, possibly episode 8. I can't remember. My editing is all over the place at the moment, but we have another challenge ahead of us. So I completed the August challenge with 3 days to spare. So we are very, very excited. The 1st of September isn't until tomorrow, but I'm filming this because it is a Sunday and I am back to work tomorrow. So I would like to know what books I'm starting the month off with. But we have quite a few books here that I need to figure out what I'm doing with. And then I've also hauled a few books that I need to get onto my shelf or add to the piles. I have moved the piles because I thought someone was going to be staying this month, so I have moved them out of the way, but I'll pull them out and get them ready once we have figured out what we're doing. But I think out of this stack, I'm going to be keeping 3, and 2 of them already have, so I'm going to be keeping these 3, and these 2 already have a space on my shelf, so I'm immediately just going to put them down here because these were where they were to begin with. Ooh, she's a bit tight. There we go. So they already had a spot, so that's easy, but this doesn't have a spot because I pulled this off the shelf to fit another book on last month. But all of these were part of my episode last month, including Love on the Brain, but I'm going to be keeping that one. So all of these are going to be shoves. I'm going to be shoving them out of my house so they can go on the shove pile. But I also hauled a few books. So we have the special edition of Quicksilver, which needs to go up on my special edition shelf up here. And we also have another special edition of When the Moon Hatched, which has to go up on my special edition shelf. But we also have Calabasas by R.F. Kuang and Silvercloak by L.K. Stephen. So I'm hoping to get to Silvercloak this month, but I don't know. So we need to figure out how to get these special editions on my special edition shelf, and then we need to figure out what we're doing with these 2. I'm hoping to get to this month. That would be amazing. And then this is going in the pile, I think. So we will figure out how to get these 3 on the shelves. So let's do that, shall we? So my special edition shelf is up here, as you can see. So it's basically full. So I'm in trouble. But these 2 aren't special editions. But they're 2 books that I've already read, so they need to go back on my shelf. And honestly, these are quite thick, so I don't think they're actually going to end up sitting, on my shelf. Cool. Right. So I'll pull those off because these are my smaller ones. We can chuck that up there. That sits nicely. So now we've got the special edition that doesn't have a home. And see, I like displaying my special editions like this because I can see the gorgeous spines, but now I need to fit this on this shelf. See the issues that we have. And I don't want it in the middle, but that's just how my shelves have been organized to actually, what is that? Why is there a book down here? Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. There is a book down there. But see, I don't really want it in the middle, but I think that's the only place where we can get it. I've already read this, so this needs to go back on my shelf somewhere as well. And it needs to go with my actual Serpents and the Wings of Night series, which is down here. So let's pop you down here, and hopefully you can see, but move this out of the way. Move these out of the way. But my Serpents and the Wings of Night is here, and I've got these books that are here. What is that? So I also need to check if I put that there. I've got this out now. I also have all of these. So these two I haven't read. So hopefully, but I've found a little spot down here that can fit that. So now we just need room for this one. This is my TBR for, oh, you can't even see that, so that's fine. But I've got no room anywhere. But this is a book that I've already read, so it does need to go on my shelf. Ooh, we could unhaul this book and fit this in here. Hopefully. Maybe. Yes, we can do that. And then slide these back in here. Okay. So I'm going to unhaul this, so this can go on my unhaul pile. I've already read it, and I did enjoy it, and I thought I was going to keep it, but we don't have space for that. But I don't think I've got space anywhere else. So I'm just going to have a quick look and see if there's anything else that I can unhaul and get off my shelves. But I don't know if there is. I have a whole pile. I think I might unhaul Letting Go by Angela Day. I read this in one of my other vlogs and I had a good time with it. It is signed to me, but it's fine. I did enjoy it. It was a 4-star rate for me, but I just don't think I'm ever going to reread it or talk about it much. So I think I can unhaul that one as well. So that means we've got room to fit one book on there. So I don't know which one I want to read. I think I might pick Gather the Daughters just because this is a series and I don't really want to start another series at the moment. Oh god, that doesn't work very well. Doesn't look great, but it is on the shelf. Right there. So, the first book that we have to read for this vlog is Gather the Daughters by Jennie Melamed. Don't know. But this is about a small isolated island. There's a community that lives by its own rules. Boys grow up knowing that they will one day reign inside and outside the home, while girls know they will be married and pregnant within moments of hitting womanhood. But before that time comes, there is an island rituals that offers children an exhilarating reprieve. And every summer, they are turned out onto their doorsteps to roam wild. They run, they fight, they sleep on the beach and build camps in trees. They are free. It is at the end of one of those summers that the first frost laces the ground that one of the younger girls witnesses something she was never supposed to see, and she returns home with a truth that could unravel their island world forever. Sounds interesting, and I'm going to be checking it out, and I'm going to be reading it for this vlog, which is good. So, what time is it? Okay, we're almost there. Whew. So now I'm going to pull out my stacks, put those other 2 books in the stacks, and then we'll do a random number generator and see how many books I have to read out of the stacks, which is possibly going to be a lot. So I'm going to go and I'm going to set that up, and I'll be back in 2 seconds for you. Never mind, I'm back because I forgot something, and I have to fit Love on the Brain also onto my shelf. So we're back in a position where I didn't want to be. So I'm looking, so I'm taking Departure off my shelf and I'm slipping Love on the Brain directly where that was. Okay, so we've got Departure. This is one of the first books that I actually bought in New Zealand, so which is a crazy thing because I've been here 6 years and I still haven't read this book. But this is about a plane crash, and they end up the survivors realizing that it is Earth but in a different reality sort of thing. So en route to London from New York, flight 305 suddenly loses power and crash lands. Struggling to stay alive, the survivors soon realize that the world they've crashed into is very different from the one they left. As more facts about the crash emerge, it becomes clear that some group in the group know more than they're letting on, information that will lead two of the passengers, Harper and Nick, to uncover a far-reaching conspiracy. As they begin to piece together the truth, Harper and Nick will discover that they have the power to change not only the future but the past as well, which means a choice between saving the world or ending it. Sounds interesting. It's been on my shelf for a long time, so it's about time that I actually read it. So that's going to go up there too with that one. And I am now going to pull out my stacks and add these two to it, and we will get the ball rolling and seeing how many books I actually have to read for this episode. I've pulled the stacks out and I've made them into 4 just because they kept falling over, and I've got another one here behind me. But we have 62 books in these stacks. But first we need to pull up our number generator to see how many books I'm actually pulling out of the stacks. So minimum 3, maximum 5, and we will generate. So we have to pull 4 books out of the stacks. So we've got minimum of 1, maximum of 62, and we will go. What does it say? 60, so 2 from the bottom. 62, 61, 60. Alrighty. So we have Take Me With You When You Go by David Levithan and Jennifer Niven. This is a YA story and I don't know anything about it, but we have Ezra wakes one day to find his sister gone. No note, no sign, nothing but an email address hidden somewhere only he would find it. Escaping their toxic home life, Bee finds herself alone in a new city, without friends, without a real plan, chasing someone who might not even want to be found. As things unravel at home for Ezra, Bee confronts secrets about their past that will forever change the way they think about their family. Separated by distance but connected by love, their brother and sister must learn to trust themselves before they can find a way back to each other. It's a YA story. It's going to probably tackle some hard topics, and it could be a very fast read. So that's book 1 out of the stacks. Now we're going to change it to 61 and we're going to generate again. We have 26. So let's, can you see? Okay, there we go. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so we have Behind the Mask, which is an Ages of Pages charity anthology featuring 7 authors. So it's just a bunch of different anthology short stories by some Kiwi authors. We've got Jay Shaw, Joanna A. M. Ray, Sophia A's, Cole J. Powell, V. Summers, Hope Malone, Sue Carpenter. So how well do you really know the people in your life? Nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. Your neighbor, brother, even a best friend could have a secret you know nothing about. They could be facing something enormous or hiding from it. The masks we wear are not always obvious. The version of ourselves we share with others is often not all that we are. So the question is, we should be asking is, what is behind the mask? So this is great because I can start reading one and kind of read one a week sort of thing, or read one every couple of days and make my way through it, which is interesting, and it helps me explore some more insight in the authors. I won this in a giveaway by Danae at Another Book Chick on Instagram, so that was a lot of fun and I'm very interested to see what this is about. That's book number 2. Let's go to book number 3. number 12. So it's going to be in our first stack over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Court of Broken Knives by Anna Smith Sparks. This is book 1 of the Empires of Dust. And all I know about this, I think it is a fantasy. So, the whispers follow him. Marith has killed a dragon. Marith has murdered a man. Marith has felled an empire. The only thing anyone knows for certain is that Marith will stop at nothing in his quest for the throne. Interesting. It doesn't have a synopsis. Oh no, we do. Nope, we don't. We don't have a synopsis. So it's a fantasy. I've had it on my shelves for a while. It'll be interesting to check this one out. That's book number 3. We've got one more to go and then we are finished with this intro to the vlogs. We've got 59 books left in the stacks and we're going to generate to 33. Alright, turn back to the shelves. The stacks, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Ooh, yay! Okay. We have the Pacific Passions Omnibus. So I've read book 3 out of this for preparation for an interview on the Broke Book Girls podcast. I'll link that podcast down below. So I get to go back and read book 1 and possibly book 2 if I feel up for it. But I'm very excited to check this one out. Courtney has told me that this is like one of 50 versions of this book, which is quite cool. And it is signed. And I just had the best time with book 1. So we're following basically one island kingdom, 3 royal siblings, 3 stories about finding love in the most unexpected places. So this is very exciting. So we have pulled these 4 out of the stacks. And we have these 2 that we pulled off the shelves to fit books on. So we have these books here that I'm very excited to read and talk about. So that is that. We will start reading one of these, some of these tomorrow because it's the 1st of September tomorrow, but I thought it would be a good idea to start this now so I had an idea of what I was going to be reading for the month. And I'm going to go because my throat is sore because I've just filmed a wrap up right before this and I have to go film a podcast after this. So I don't think I'm going to have a voice at the end, but yeah, that's exciting. I've got some exciting books on here that I'm very intrigued about. So I will come and update you when we've got an update. Goodbye. Hello. It's been a hot minute since I updated you guys, but it's time to talk about the first book that I'm currently reading for this vlog, and that is Behind the Mask by the Ages of Pages charity anthology created by 7 different authors. So I now have read 4 of the stories. Yeah, so I've read 4 of the stories. So the first one was The Curator's Treasure, which was a sci-fi romance by Jay Shaw. I gave this a 4-star read. This is very interesting and it definitely delved into a world that that Jay Shaw has written in. It's sort of like a prequel, kind of gets you into the world and kind of shows you that you can kind of jump into this world. So it definitely intrigued me to check out more from Jay Shaw. Then we also have Urban Shifter, which was an urban fantasy romance. I also gave this 4 stars and this is by Joanna M. Ray. I definitely will be checking out more from this author. It was very, very interesting, definitely fast paced. It had vigilante sort of things with a little bit of powers in there. It was very interesting. Then we had A Ranger's Heart by Sophia Aves and I gave that a 3-star. It was a bit different to something that I was expecting. It was very fast paced, it moved very quickly, and I just didn't feel like there was any actual romance between these characters, which was a bit sad, but that was a 3-star read from me. And then the last one that I just finished was Fated Love by Cole J. Powell, and I also gave that a 4 stars. So this is a contemporary romance and I really enjoyed it. It was very short and sweet. It started with a hookup and then kind of moved into, no, we want to spend the rest of our lives together, and it was really good. The relationship was fast paced, but again, it is a short story, so you kind of have to be aware going in that that is the case. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I have 3 more stories to go and hopefully I'll finish that tonight, and then I'll come and update you and talk about the next book that I'm going to be picking up. But yeah, we are slowly getting through this and I'm having a good time with it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to continue reading. Happy Saturday. It's time for me to update this vlog because I've been slack and I haven't been doing that. But I finished Behind the Mask by these various authors and I think I'm going to be giving it a 4 star. I did really enjoy a lot of the stories in here. I think there was only one that I gave a 3 star. Everything else was pretty much a 4 star, which was great. So yeah, I did really enjoy this. I had a great time finishing it off. And a lot of them were contemporary stories. A lot of them were prequels to other stories that we get to know within the author's other worlds. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. I don't know if this is actually going to be a keep or not. I'm not 100% sure on that, just because I don't think I'm ever going to reread it, but it is a nice to have, but I might get rid of it. I'm not 100% sure yet. But yeah, it was a fun time. And then I did pick up book 1 in the Pacific Passions series. I have read book 3 in this in my 24-hour timer challenge, so I'll link that up above and down below. But I got to page 32, which is chapter 33. So in this one we're following Aleki and what's her name? Oh my gosh, I forget her name. Stella. And Aleki and Stella they went to uni together and they kind of had this friends to lovers dynamic where they ended up hooking up, and Aleki actually left the morning after without saying anything and kind of went home to his island to do his princely duties, and they haven't seen each other in 10 years. And Stella has now come to the country of Avali, and she is, yeah, so the country of Avali, which is this Pacifica island created by Courtney Clark Michaels, and she is helping to run a wedding for her best friend. Turns out that this is all happening at Aleki's house and his sort of area, and we're kind of watching them in this enemies to lovers sort of dynamic. I'm on chapter 3 and already the tension and the banter between them is excellent. I really love Courtney Clark Michaels' writing, so I'm very excited to continue with this one and finish it. It is only about 200 pages, which is sweet, and I'm hoping that I can, yeah, so it is 198 pages, so I'm hoping that I can finish this and get it off my currently reading and then go into the next one and hopefully get another one knocked out this weekend, but we shall see about that. But yeah, I'm having the best time with it. It's been a while, but we have quite a few reading updates. So the last time I was talking to you, I had started Pacific Passions by Courtney Clark Michaels, which is, I read Pregnant by the Prince in this omnibus. So this is book 1 in the Pacific Passions series, and I really, really loved it. I gave it a 4 star. I really liked the dynamic between our 2 main characters, and I just loved the sort of lovers to enemies to lovers sort of dynamic, and kind of the accident baby that kind of brought them back together, and how they were really dealing with that they were getting married just for the convenience of it, and so he didn't have a sort of scandal because he is a prince. And there was just so many great things in here. The humor is outstanding, and I just love Courtney Clark Michaels as a writer, and I had a great time with it. Then I picked up the audiobook of Take Me With You When You Go by David Levithan and Jennifer Niven, and I was going to update you halfway through, and then I just kind of flew through this audiobook. So I did finish this, and I'm going to be giving it a 4-star. So in this one, we're following our main character Ezra, and he wakes up one day and his sister has gone missing. She has run away, and he doesn't know, and no one knows where she has gone. But he goes to his secret hiding place, and he finds this email where he can keep contact with his sister. And this whole book is just emails back and forth between them as they are sharing things that they never really spoke to each other about and discussing their family dynamics. They have a really messy family, and there is trigger warnings for abuse and such, so do beware going in. So we're following Ezra as he's dealing with his sister going missing and kind of dealing with being left alone in this horrible family dynamic. And then we're also seeing emails from the sister who is kind of, she's 18 years old, so she is legally an adult, and she is out kind of exploring and kind of finding her way and finding herself as a person. And I really enjoyed it. It is a great YA story, and it has some very complex themes going in, so I do recommend if you're looking for something to read. So then I picked up The Court of Broken Knives, and I've just decided to DNF this. I just got 50 pages in, and I just don't care. I don't know anything about this, and I just don't care about any of the characters. I don't really understand what's happening, so I am going to be DNFing this one. So that means I do need to pick out a new book from the pile, which is scary because I still have 2 other books that I need to pick out. But hopefully this is a fun one, or it's something a little bit more feels like me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out the piles, get them in their nice stacks, count them, and then I'll come back and we'll do a random number generator so we can figure out what is the next book that I need to add to the pile that I need to read this month. Alrighty, so I have our stacks beside me here, all ready to go. And I counted, and we have 57 books in the stacks. So let's pull up the random number generator, and I'm hoping for something a little bit more fun, something a little bit more fast paced, because I just haven't really been having a fun time. 38. Alrighty. Oh yes. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so we are reading August by Cleo Browne. So this is book 2 in the Devil Rose series, but it is also a crossover with Tomb Security series. So book 1 is Rhodey, and I read this back in April, and I loved book 1. So in book 1 we're following Rhodey and Tuesday. And Tuesday is a neurospicy vigilante sort of person, and I love her so much. And Rhodey is part of a motorcycle group, and she ends up in this sort of happenstance where she ends up meeting Rhodey, and Rhodey becomes immediately enamored by her, and he wants to be with her, and it was just the best freaking time. And I've been really wanting to continue with this series. I just haven't had the chance. They are so fast to read, and this is actually following Tuesday's brother August, which I'm very excited about. So Anna Taylor, expat Kiwi and stand-in leader of the Anna Taylor, expat Kiwi and stand-in leader of the Bartashev Bradva, thrives on the chaos in her world. Though efficient and able to roll with the punches, Anna can handle anything thrown at her, until the threat of deportation looms, leaving her with few options. Enter August Toombs, the head of Tomb Security in the Wild Toombs family. He's a pro at handling chaos, yet Anna's reappearance flips his world upside down. The chance reunion reignites the spark they shared at the DRMC clubhouse, leading to a proposal that's totally out of character. Dangers lurk in both their worlds. Can they keep their friends and family safe while turning their fake marriage into something more? Amidst the chaos of a rival MC, a stalker, and a couple of horny swingers, achieving their happily ever after won't be easy, but with Devil's Rose MC and the Bartashev Bratva on their side, anything's possible, right? So I'm so excited to check this one out. So we met August and Anna in book 1, and I'm so excited to get into this. This is only 258 pages, so maybe I can fly through this one if I get these 2, or at least another one, finished before the weekend, which might be a good idea. So I think I'm going to devour this on the weekend, but I think the next book that I'm going to pick up is Departure by AG Riddle. So I did pull this out of the stacks at the beginning. The writing is tiny in this though, which is a bit unfortunate, but I don't know much about this, but we're en route to London from New York. Flight 305 suddenly loses power and crash lands. Struggling to stay alive, the survivors soon realise that the world they've crashed in is very different from the one they left. As more facts about the crash emerge, it becomes clear that some in the group know more than they're letting on. Information that will lead to the passengers, Harper and Nick, to uncover a far-reaching conspiracy. As they begin to piece together the truth, Harper and Nick will discover that they have the power to change not only the future but the past as well, which means a choice between saving the world or ending it. This is one of the first books that I bought when I moved to New Zealand 6 years ago, so it's about time I fucking read this book. So that is exciting. I'm so happy that I pulled this out of my stacks, and it is signed by the author, which I love. And we got a cool bookmark, which I love. It says spread those pages. And yes, I will be spreading these pages very, very soon. So yeah, I think I'm going to read this one, get this off my off the TBR, and then get to this one on the weekend, because tomorrow is Friday. So I'm going to do that. I think that will be a good plan. All right. I'm gonna go start this and I'll come update you when we've got some updates. Hi, it's time for a quick update on my reading. So I have read Departure by AG Riddle. This was definitely very interesting. It definitely took a sci-fi twist that I wasn't expecting. It was very, very interesting and I had a great time with it. I'm going to be giving this a 4-star read. I read this pretty much without giving you an update, but it definitely went in a direction that I wasn't expecting and I had no idea what was happening, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the scientific reasoning behind everything, and yeah, it was a fun time, and I'm definitely glad that I pulled this out and finally got it off my shelf. I've also started Gather the Daughters by Jennie Melamed, and this is about a society that is kind of in a dystopian sort of situation. Very primitive, very men focused. The women are very below the men. They are basically breeding for these men. It's very interesting, very different, but also very disgusting. There are certain things within this book that are very triggering, so I would be aware going in. It's making me feel very uncomfortable and very, very sick. So in this world we have, as soon as the daughters have their period, they are immediately married off and they immediately have children. And it's kind of, but before that they have a summer where they can run wild, and something has just happened that one of the girls who was running wild has seen something that is very, very interesting, and we're kind of getting into the brunt of the story. We're following some different perspectives in this as well, and it's just very uncomfortable because we know what's happening. It's being implied what's happening, but it's not outright saying what's happening. And I would just be aware going into this that check your trigger warnings for sexual assault and all those kind of things. So do be aware going into that one. Good morning. I'm here with a lot of reading updates, which is exciting. So I finished Gather the Daughters by Jennie Melamed yesterday, and I don't know how to talk about this book because this book made me so uncomfortable. It made me sick to my stomach about what was going on in this book. The synopsis says nothing about that. It doesn't give any trigger warnings for going into this book, so I would definitely say beware going in and have a search for trigger warnings. But if you want me to, there is a sexual assault of children, there is incest, there is just a lot going on in here, and it gave a very unsatisfied ending. And like, I don't know how this could have a satisfying ending, just because this island is so warped, and so the beliefs that they have are so ingrained in them. I didn't like it. It was a hard read. and I think I'm going to be giving it 2 stars, and it's definitely leaving my shelves because I'm never talking about this book again. It was not a fun time. I did not have a great time with it. But then yesterday I started and completely finished August by Cleo Browne. I told you when this got picked out of the stack that I would devour this book, and I absolutely did that. I didn't want to come and update you because I was just having the best time. So this one, following August and Anna. August is Tuesday's sister from a brother from book 1, and Anna is a ex-Kiwi who's now in America helping her best friend run the Bratva group that he has, and we're watching these two as they come together. They end up having a marriage of convenience, and it slowly turns into their romance, and I just had the best time. I loved it so much. I marked a lot of things in here, and I just had the best time. I was laughing out loud, reading lines to my partner. 5-star read for me, and I'm going to have to get this onto my shelf next month. But that is the last book for this vlog. So let's just do a quick wrap up of everything that I read. So the first book that I read was Behind the Mask, with the anthology From Ages to Pages, with a bunch of different authors in here. I really enjoyed a lot of these stories, but I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one on my shelf. Then I picked up Pregnant by the Prince in the Pacific Passions series. This is book 1. I also had a really great time with this. I had the, it was just great. The marriage of convenience side again here, and a accidental baby. It was a lot of fun, really enjoyed it, and I'm just so in love with Courtney Michaels and her writing, and I'm just glad that I only have one more book in this omnibus to check out. Then I tried to pick up The Court of Broken Knives, and I decided to DNF this. I had no interest or any will to pick this book up, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Then I read Take Me With You When You Go by David Levithan and Jennifer Niven. I really enjoyed this. I listened to this on audio and flew through it. It is all email exchanges between a brother and sister when the sister has run away from home and is trying to find herself and dealing with parental abuse and finding themselves, and kind of realizing that they're not on their own and they have a group of people around them, and rebuilding their relationship while they're at a distance. And then I also read Departure by AG Riddle. This is one of the oldest books on my TBR, one of the first books that I bought here when I moved to New Zealand, and I'm glad I finally read it. I really enjoyed it. It took this really big sci-fi twist that I wasn't expecting, and it was just a lot of fun. And I did really enjoy it, so I would recommend. But I don't think I'd ever reread this one, so I am going to be also taking this one off my shelves. So there you have it. These are all the books that I read in this vlog. We have successfully read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books for this vlog. 2 I will be keeping, and the rest I will be shoving out of my house. So very successful. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below if you've read any of these books, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye.